Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. Let's begin with the countdown. There are only 50 days left until Field Marshal Asim Munir's second retirement and the arrival of a new army chief in the country. I had already mentioned this to you earlier. The remaining days will be difficult for Pakistan, for the people of Pakistan, for Field Marshal Asim Munir, for this regime, and for this entire region. Today's first news also stems from this. DG ISPR Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry has arrived at the Peshawar Corps headquarters and held a fiery press conference there. The press conference was less about briefing and more about a charge sheet against Imran Khan, the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and most importantly, Sohail Afridi. Yes, the content, structure, and timing of this press conference screamed out loud, and DG ISPR did not even try to sugarcoat it. In clear terms, he said that Sohail Afridi was unacceptable under any circumstances. This is a significant statement. We will try to ensure that the key aspects of this press conference, which was in reality not a press conference but a legal proceeding, a charge sheet against the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, are discussed openly. These are the same accusations that we face every day. Therefore, we will try to do justice to this topic and wrap it up quickly without dragging this vlog out too long. Stay with us, and I'll say this, watch this vlog with patience and enjoy. Entertainment is guaranteed. Now let's move on to Field Marshal Asim Munir. He arrived and said that the reason for coming to Peshawar was to engage with the brave people of KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and address the fight against terrorism. I had told you before that national security in this country is often sold. Everything is traded here for personal interests. The so-called Operation Against Terrorism has been going on in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for a long time, but DG ISPR suddenly remembered to show up because Sohail Afridi should never become the chief minister, no matter what. Hence, the timing of this is critical. Now let's recall that when our armed forces are fighting terrorism, losing officers and personnel, these are Pakistani soldiers, sons, and brothers who are sacrificing their lives. This should be a national cause, but how is Pakistan's defense being used for political objectives? Later, DG ISPR paid tribute to the martyrs, as we do too. Martyrs are our pride, respect, and love. Our hearts mourn for them when they fall. It is as if they are our own brothers, our own sons. We all take pride in them. However, using their sacrifices for political goals hurts us. Anyway, DG ISPR said that in 2024 there were 14,535 military operations. DG, I think you've inflated the numbers a bit. I believe the figure is a bit exaggerated. You're stating 14,535 operations, which if divided by 365 days equals approximately 40 operations per day. That seems a bit much. We should recheck this. Now, if just starting a vehicle is considered an operation, then that's up to you. I'm not saying operations are not happening. There are sacrifices and operations occurring. We discussed yesterday that our officer-to-soldier martyrdom ratio is one of the highest in the world. We are giving sacrifices, and no one is trying to diminish that. But 14,535 operations in a year seem exaggerated. Moving forward, the DG accused Imran Khan and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, of harboring terrorists, saying that terrorists were deliberately brought here. He began his press conference by labeling PTI, Imran Khan, and largely the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as guilty. He said that the National Action Plan, or NAP, was not implemented, and he highlighted 5 main reasons for the rise of terrorism in Pakistan. The first reason he mentioned was the failure to implement the 2014 National Action Plan. The second was the politicization of terrorism, which he blamed PTI for. Thirdly, he accused Afghanistan and India of playing negative roles, supplying weapons and sending terrorists. The fourth reason was the lack of a political narrative to defeat terrorism, which he attributed to Imran Khan and PTI's narrative. And finally, the fifth reason he cited was political patronage and the political narrative that was being created to justify terrorism. These 5 reasons were linked to Imran Khan and PTI. DG ISPR said that the National Action Plan's first point was to track down terrorists, attack them and kill them. He claimed they were already doing that. The second point was to create a unified narrative against terrorism. He claimed that this unified narrative was not being formed because Imran Khan kept insisting on negotiations. He blamed this on political interests and corruption, which he said stemmed from the terrorist narcotics crime nexus. He further accused Imran Khan of benefiting from this, which is why he insisted on talks with terrorists. Imran Khan said that dialogue should happen, which is what you are now accusing him of, but you were the ones who pushed for talks. Let's go back to 2022, July 5th, when the National Security Parliamentary Committee officially endorsed peace talks with the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, or TTP. It was during your government that these talks were approved. It wasn't just Imran Khan, and yet now you are blaming him for it. Next, you accused the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government of failing to punish criminals and terrorists in their courts. You mentioned the non-custom paid vehicles, an issue you claimed was the responsibility of the provincial government, but in fact, it falls under the federal government's jurisdiction. The Customs Department is a federal issue, not a provincial one. You blamed the provincial government, but this is a federal matter. Finally, in the midst of all this, a journalist from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Farzana Ali, asked DG ISPR a single sharp question. DG ISPR, who had brought along his own friendly journalist from Islamabad, was caught off guard by Farzana's question. She exposed a major contradiction in his statement. DG ISPR had previously declared that only Imran Khan was pushing for talks with the terrorists, but she reminded him of the earlier statements made by his own ministers, who had endorsed the same talks with the Taliban. You, DG ISPR, had misled the public about who had initiated and supported these negotiations. This shows you two very interesting things. First, listen to this question, because you will enjoy the question. It's a beautiful question. What question did Farzana Ali ask? Listen carefully. Sir, there are two things I want to ask. One, I wanted to talk about what Mahmoud Jan mentioned, and I also want to talk about something related to our debates here regarding the PTI, or Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf movement when it was in government at the centre. Faiz Amir's name was frequently mentioned. People said that it was because of him that the talks started, the issue began, and he was the main character behind it. In the statistics you showed regarding the flaws in the judicial system, you also showed us conviction rates, which were almost zero, meaning convictions are not happening. Delays are happening there as well. So the flaws are present in the judicial system here too. There are delays here as well. The second thing is related to the different political faces that oppose the operations, or, if I don't use the word oppose, they criticize them. The main reason for this criticism is the collateral damage caused in these operations, where innocent people are killed. The provincial government compensates these victims. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the question arises, were these people terrorists? If they were terrorists, then why are they being compensated? So the narrative here isn't forming. Your narrative, in fact, is not flourishing. If I may speak directly, the basic reason for this is that there is collateral damage in the operations. And when it comes to talks with the Taliban, the main characters involved are elsewhere, and nothing is happening for them. You've heard Farzana Ali's question, which is a very interesting one. Let me explain a bit. She raised 2 points. She said, you are criticizing the courts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for not convicting anyone but you yourself are court-martialing Lieutenant General, retired Faiz Hamid, the former DG-ISI. Did you convict him? If the courts are slow here, then aren't you also slow? She continued. People don't protest because you are taking action against terrorists. It is because innocent people, labeled as collateral damage, are dying. Political parties raise their voices for them. Then you compensate them and give them money. If they are terrorists, then why do you give them money? Why do you call them innocent? Why do you call them martyrs? Why do you compensate them? She said, with all due respect, your narrative is not working. It's not selling. In response, the DG ISPR gave a very excellent answer. He said, you know whose trial is happening, who is being court-martialed? Lieutenant General, retired Faiz Hamid, the former DG ISI. What? Do you want us to rush through the trial? Do you want us to not follow the legal requirements because of your criticism? Do you want us to deny them their rights because of the pressure of your questions? You've made a very good point. Now, the DG ISPR made a very good point, but my question is, if you consider former lieutenant generals such an important personality, and I agree they are important, then why do you handle the trial of the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, so differently? You hold his trial until 2 a.m., and within 8 days, you give him a sentence. Why are you not following due diligence there? Why aren't you implementing the rule of law and giving him a fair trial? Is he not a son of your own country? Is he not the former Prime Minister? You give rights to the former Lieutenant General, but why not to the former Prime Minister? The DG ISPR responded by declaring that they are not the state, but an institution within the state. The state is an institution, and every action they take must be correct, according to the due process of justice, because if it's not, the people of Pakistan would not accept it. But in another breath, he then tried to escape the responsibility. He declared that the state is not the military, but a part of it. The state is the parliamentary government and the system, which includes political parties and the federal government. The military, he said, is not the state. It's just a part of the state's institutions. They are not the state. They are merely part of the government machinery. Farzana cleverly caught him on this. Within minutes, the DG ISPR contradicted himself. Initially, he said the military is the state, and later he said they are just an institution within the state. It's very interesting how this contradiction unfolded. Moving forward, DG ISPR stated, if an individual thinks that his personal identity is more important than Pakistan, we do not accept that. At the same time, he explained the reason for the court-martial of Faiz Hamid. It was because of his political ties, especially with Imran Khan. The DG ISPR continued by stating that in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, there are only 3,200 police officers assigned to anti-terrorism duties. They are understaffed because resources are limited. He said that this was why the government must increase the number of police officers. However, he did not mention that it was the same police that went on strike and said they would not perform their duties if the military was involved. This same police force had said that they did not want the good Taliban to be freed. Farzana raised another point, the issue of returning refugees, Mahazareen. DG ISPR mentioned that there was a 10 billion offer to the Taliban, and he didn't deny it. This was supposed to be for the refugees, but he then got upset when the deal didn't materialize. Lastly, the DG ISPR asked a very important question. Why is terrorism not found in Sindh and Punjab? He showed a map and stated that good governance in these areas was the reason why terrorism was absent. He said the real problem lies elsewhere, but he didn't elaborate. The governments in Sindh and Punjab are very good. The governments of your party are the ones you like. You are currently the Minister of Information in the same party. They say the governance there is very good. Ms. Maryam and Mr. Shah in Sindh are doing very good governance. Well, sir, you didn't mention Balochistan. Why is there terrorism happening there? All the direct attacks on governance have been in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The government in Balochistan has always been yours. Even now, you have placed your person there. Today, 5 terrorist attacks happened in Balochistan in one day. This was on October 10th. Why aren't you talking about that? Is it not related to governance there? Secondly, sir, I don't know if you've seen the map. You were showing a map of Pakistan, mentioning where terrorism is happening, saying it's not in Punjab or Sindh. Has anyone not told you that Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's border is with Afghanistan? And this is the same Afghanistan where your previous army chief declared jihad. Has no one told you about your former generals who were your bosses and who made a lot of money there in dollars with American and Saudi money and fought in a foreign war? Sir, I'm not the only one saying this. You'll get angry and file an FIR against me, but your own minister, Khawaja Muhammad Asif, on Hakim's show, said they've been involved in this dirty business for 30 years. So this is the same dirty business that Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is suffering from. The problem isn't the governance being bad or good. Governance is good in Sindh too. It's good in Punjab too. The issue isn't governance, but rather the geography and the ethnicities involved. Look at the border, see who is involved. Yeah, you mentioned the border, but you will have to investigate who was given the contract when Mr. Bajwa created the flood there. I asked about this yesterday too, and I would like to know why the border hasn't been sealed properly. In any case, Punjab was protected by him while KPK was attacked. He said there is no political patronage in KPK, but there is in Punjab. Regarding Balochistan, he remained silent, as it's under your own governance. You didn't talk about it as you control the region. The terrorism there is being suppressed. The army chief has said that the gaps in governance are being paid for by the blood of our soldiers, and this can't go on. Our soldiers are dying because of the gaps in governance, not because of any other reason. So, if governance in Balochistan is under your control, why haven't you fixed it? You've been in power in Pakistan for 78 years, so why didn't you fix the governance during all this time? Anyway, moving on, Pakistan's security will only be ensured by the army, No one else can do it. You can't beg for security from Afghanistan. You said Pakistan's army is securing the country, which is correct. But we don't understand why you keep saying that someone is begging for security. The army is bringing the state back under control, and we won't allow any political games. The responsibility for bringing terrorism back rests with one person. Then he blamed Imran Khan, saying that he brought the terrorists back. However, Imran Khan has already tweeted multiple times, clarifying that it was a proposal brought by the military, which the representatives rejected, including Murad Saeed and others from KPK. The Prime Minister rejected it too. So, after our government left, you brought them back. When did this happen? We have evidence, but we won't show it now. We'll show you later that it was indeed you who brought them back. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's military is acting according to the law. You won't be allowed to engage in negative politics, nor will we allow you to search or cooperate with Afghanistan for security. This is what Imran Khan and the PTI are being accused of: asking for security from Afghanistan. You're not doing your job, but we are. Balochistan is doing its part. Sindh is doing its part. Punjab is doing its part. Only KPK is not doing its part. We'll make life difficult for any military deserters or their collaborators, no matter their rank. This is a direct threat from DG ISPR Sohail Afridi. He gave 3 choices: either hand over the terrorists to us, or fight alongside us against them, or prepare to be wiped out. He didn't use the exact words "wiped out," but that was the implication. We won't spare you or anyone else. He then showed a video of martyrs from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and his voice cracked, which seemed like acting, but perhaps I'm wrong. Afterward, he played a speech by Field Marshal Asim Munir, where he recited verses from the Quran and said the police in KPK were fighting Allah's war. Then questions began. 2 government supporters from Islamabad were brought in first to create an atmosphere. They asked questions to support the KPK government, claiming that the bureaucracy, police and the machinery are all with the government. PTI's minister, Ali Amin Gandapur, didn't oppose any operations. His questions were ignored, though. Someone asked, if the police and bureaucracy are with you, why are you blaming the opposition? The answer was that terrorists wear shalwar kameez and blend in with the public. This is why the narrative is an issue. Even though all the law enforcement is with you, the narrative is the problem. At this point, the speaker said, I know this is becoming long, and personally, I'm not gaining anything from this. But I spent 8 hours researching this topic. I just want to put it in front of you, so you have clarity, because this is the case we will be dealing with. Later, someone asked, will the army now control social media to curb the narrative against you? The speaker responded, no, it's not our job. It's the FIA's job. You all should take responsibility for your actions. This is your job. Lift your own weight. All right, no collateral damage ahead, so why do you compensate? A very good question was asked by a Sufi when there's no collateral damage, because the question they asked was whether collateral damage is happening, due to which people are going against you. They said, no, there is no collateral damage. This is a lie. The DG ISPR said, this is a lie. This is the narrative. There are terrorists there, and they have companions who have sheltered them. When we go there, they open fire. Obviously, those who sheltered the terrorists are killed. And these people lie that these are civilians, that these are innocent people. There is no such thing as collateral damage here. We reject collateral damage. Now, of course, the Sufi couldn't ask, but the question should be, why do you still compensate them then? They will first respond by saying that it's the government's job to compensate, to maintain their narrative. But they also said this is all a lie. When people die, they pay money to their people. This is the PTI government. And those who are the facilitators of terrorists are their own people. They give them money to protect their politics so that the facilitators can continue supporting terrorists. This was the accusation. All right, fine. So what was Brigadier Qasim doing there? A few days ago, when compensation was given in Tera Valley in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, why was Brigadier Qasim in uniform involved in this compensation? Why was he included? Wherever compensation is given, why are you involved? If this is terrorism and all these are facilitators, why did you get involved? Then they asked about the cases of May 9th. All the cases were cleared, withdrawn in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. No case proceeded. The prosecution here withdrew them. Then they also got rid of this case because there was no evidence. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, there is clear CCTV footage. If anyone gets it from Radio Pakistan, the security officers have destroyed it. Then they said, look, this is the legal side. This is a court matter, a prosecution matter. We have nothing to do with it. Politically, whatever happens, the operation will continue. In response to this, they gave a threat. Whatever Sohail Afridi says or understands, we will continue the operation. If someone agrees with us, fine. If not, we will not acknowledge any leadership. We won't accept such leadership. Mashallah, DG ISPR said that if someone does not agree with the operation, we will continue it. We won't recognize any leadership, meaning we won't recognize Sohail Afridi, for example. Then they said history tells us that when you don't nurture terrorists, they act like snakes. If you take care of a snake, you can never trust it. This is a danger not only for Afghanistan, but also for Pakistan. Therefore, do not nurture terrorists. Just a second, I will play you a 5-second response from Khawaja Asif. You will be satisfied that these snakes were nurtured by whom? Listen, Khawaja Asif's response. The things cool down, and now you do admit that Pakistan has a long history of backing, supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations. We've been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, including Britain. So that's your argument, that it was a mistake, and you suffered for it. And that's why you're saying this to me. If we hadn't joined the war against the Soviet Union and later the war after '91, Pakistan's track record wouldn't have been the same. Back to the speech. General Asim Munir's response was another turning point, but I don't want to delve into the political drama today. Now, the final question was asked to Sumaira Saba from Islamabad, as the reporters here were under immense pressure to get that answer. DG ISPR was frustrated, defeated, and looked a little angry as they spoke, which led to a question from Sumaira Saba. Why is it Imran Khan's fault that terrorism came back and flourished? The final accusations came, and it was clear this is Imran Khan's fault for negotiating with terrorists. Imran Khan is the one who makes statements about collateral damage. Imran Khan is the reason terrorism is not ending, and we will make sure it does. We don't accept Imran Khan or his leadership. Neither do we acknowledge Sohail Afridi as the chief minister. This whole press conference revolves around one false narrative, and I am not going to answer it. Instead, I will let a senior officer's speech answer it. You will get your answer from this speech. 15 seconds from General Bajwa's speech. Pakistan Army, with the full support and confidence of the nation, has successfully turned the tide against terrorism in the last 2 decades and has ensured that organized terrorism is decisively rooted out from Pakistan. That's what General Bajwa said on October 8th. 2022. The DG ISPR, however, didn't own up to this. General Bajwa was saying, we've defeated terrorism, and the same DG ISPR later denied the very thing. There is a contradiction in the narrative, and if terrorism was really defeated in 2022, why is it still an issue now? It's your government that began all this, not ours. In October 2022, General Bajwa was saying that terrorism was defeated, but now you're saying it hasn't ended yet. Finally, General Bajwa made a bold challenge. He asked to be summoned to Parliament for an open session to clarify the facts regarding how the Pakistan Army had supported certain political agendas during Imran Khan's era. According to him, people had been brought back and a strategy was developed, but it never came to fruition. This statement has never been refuted until today. So your entire press conference was based on false narratives. The DG ISPR has disowned General Bajwa, as is typical. These things happen, and the general trend in Pakistani politics is that no one ever owns up to their past actions. Today, DG ISPR is disowning Bajwa, and tomorrow when someone else comes, they will disown Asim Munir as well. Lastly, in Baluchistan, where attacks are occurring daily, no one is paying attention, and the media isn't giving it the focus it deserves. The focus is now on Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where the conflict has escalated. This is due to TLP and Jamaat-e-Islami making their moves, capitalizing on the situation. This is a very crucial time. You'll see what happens. For now, I'll leave you with the fact that things are going to get tough for Pakistan and its people. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share, and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.